All right, we're live. It's your old pal Dawghands. What the fuck? Can we cuss on here or not?
Fuck no.
What the fuck is up, y'all fucking homies? It's your old pal Dawghands. I'm doing live drawing and micro commissions. Today we're doing $2 a minute, up to 30 minutes. I'm gonna just be drawing some stuff in general and talking some shit, and doing whatever, shooting the shit with y'all. Sam is here, running stuff. So if y'all have any questions or comments or just want to engage, go ahead and let him know, and he'll tell me. And you know, you've seen how it works. You've seen how it works on the TV and whatnot. So right now, I thought I'd start with a brand new thing. We're working with Procreate today. It's my very first time using Procreate. I really like it a lot so far. One thing that, I don't know if you can see here, you can see I hold my pen, I was telling Sam, like a lefty, even though I'm right-handed. And so I tend to drag the meat of my hand, the meat of my big, dumb, grubby dick beater across the screen or across the page. So when I'm doing regular ink on paper, which is normally what I do, I end up having to kind of go from right to left when I'm inking. So I don't spread graphite around too much, right to left when I'm drawing. This is nice because I'm not spreading anything around, as you can see here. And then here I am dragging my whole hand across the thing. We're not smudging, we're not smearing. I can kind of rest my hand the way that my stupid Neanderthal hands like to do. And let's just go ahead and erase these things. And I'm gonna work on something right now. I've just been, I'm sure everyone's been following the news. So I was thinking that I was going to draw some stuff that I was feeling about that. I'm a Black Lives Matter person, and you know, if you're not, I mean, you know, we can talk about it, or you can fuck off. I don't know, but you know, so I'm gonna be doing some drawings about that, and then also I want to let everyone know that in reference to the statistic of 40% of the families of police officers experience domestic abuse. I'm going to go ahead and say that today we're giving 60% of our donations to Black Lives Matter in Utah. Believe it or not, there are black people that live in Utah, and their lives matter. And so, yeah. So if you have a micro commission that you'd like me to draw, and you want to donate some time, it's $2 per minute. Up to 30 minutes, I'll draw anything that you want, as long as it's, you know, I reserve the right if it's something really distasteful, but only a few certain things are that distasteful to me. Let's go back and let's do this. Okay, we're gonna zoom in here. I really like how easy it is to drag color stuff along, fill those things, and I've upped the opacity so that one of my big problems with digital is pixelization and everything like that. And sometimes when you're trying to do those fills, you still see that little thin line of white between the things. So, but especially when you're transferring from ink to digital, which I end up doing a lot of. So let's get actually these guys too. I forgot, I got away from myself here while I was talking. I hope everyone's having a good Monday morning wherever you are. If you're chillaxing at home, then I hope your home life is working out nicely. I hope you're having a good morning. If you're at work, I hope your boss doesn't see you watching me draw. Here's another cool thing about Procreate as well, is I can get these perfect little dots, and that's kind of cool. Sometimes I feel like I have mixed feelings on digital art. This is, like I said, this is my first time using this app, and one of my first times in general using a digital app. I always get mad and tell people, you know, there's no Control Z in real life, but this is actually cool for it. It serves a different purpose than I think pen and ink. I think it's important to I think it's important to, in some cases, maintain the old ways. We're going to go ahead and get a lower brush on here, just slightly smaller. And then I want to Get those teeth nice and jagged. Actually, let's go back because fun fact, you can actually even do this shape tool on just about any level there. Now, this generally kind of straightens it out, but you can also see how when I put my thumb on the thing here, I can make it go to a perfect square, but we don't necessarily want that, you know. Digital's fun, I think, for having some of these, for, really quick stuff, and also getting some of those shapes that it's a little bit harder to do by hand. But also, I think it's important for something to like maintain its wabi-sabi. So we're gonna go back to 9, which is where I think we were at. Yeah, why not? Then we're gonna zoom back out, and I'll be checking my phone periodically. What am I even doing here? Hold on. I'll be checking my phone periodically. If you are a follower of my Instagram, which is at Dawghands, DAWGHANDS, all one word. And you can request something on there too. I'll try and make sure that I'm looking at it. What are we listening to right now, Sam? Very cool. I love it. I love it. Where can people listen to his stuff if they want to hear more? Does he have a Spotify or anything like that? That's the best way, I think. That's the best way. So let's see. We're going to add some more to this guy here. I've always been interested in different world mythologies, and we're drawing somebody from a member of the pantheon from the Yoruba and Dahomey religions in West Africa. And so I'm going to do that. Ogun is, some of the things that I've read about Ogun are that he is the god of various technologies and metalworking, craftsmanship, things like that. So, one way to honor Ogun is to invest money into black-owned technologies, things like that. And another thing that I read about him is that he's a warrior god. I don't know what am I doing with this damn cinnamon roll of a fist here. These arms are... Yeah, we could do that too, as well. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, back to Ogun. So Ogun is a warrior god as well. And one really cool thing that I read is that we have a commission. All right.
30 minutes of the universe falling in love with Bob Saget.
All right. Let's get fucking Bob Saget on here. It's Full House time, motherfuckers. Everywhere you look. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to find ourselves a nice reference for Bob Saget. I think I want to do like Full House Bob Saget, like Bob Saget with the 90s mullet, the BoJack Horseman haircut. If you can, in case you guys don't know, by the way, Bob Saget in real life is actually like a filthy motherfucker. Like his stand-up is disgusting by comparison. It's actually like a real, knowing that actually watching Full House is kind of funny because you can tell, I feel like, what he would really be saying. He's the guy, if you've ever seen Half Baked. Did you ever see Half Baked, Sam? Yeah, Half Baked is probably my favorite stoner comedy. It was the first R-rated movie that I ever snuck into. And we're still doing 1080p, right? Do screen size? Okay, perfect. All right. So Half Baked was the first R-rated movie that I ever snuck into. And I remember his scene. He's going to Narcotics Anonymous, and he's like, I'm addicted to marijuana. And like Bob Saget stands up, and he's like, marijuana's not a drug. I used to suck dick for coke. I seen him. And we're not gonna have that. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so he also directed Dirty Work, the Norm Macdonald comedy about the guy that does the Revenge for Hire business. So Bob here's got a fairly distinct nose, which is interesting. He's got some deep set eyes. It's about 30, you know. Oh, this is way cool. This is way cool. You can get some really fine detail on this, actually. Yeah, I'm actually really loving Procreate right now. As a first timer, I gotta say this is pretty nice. It's very intuitive. Sam probably spent about a minute kind of telling me some of the basic details. I'm sure I'll have to ask him again later. Let's jack up his teeth a little bit. Let's make this a true love story between Bob Saget and the universe, where the universe loves Bob Saget, imperfections and all. Let's do that. And then I don't know if should we show the reference photo that I'm working from, or should we save that for later? Let's see. So I found this one. Oop, there we go. There we go. Oh yeah, everything's in reverse. I'm not going to put Mary Kate / Ashley. Can any? I can't tell, and it doesn't look like it's not picking up. You get the general idea. This era of Bob. He's wearing a cardigan sweater that kind of looks like a smoking. It's definitely got that it's like a Walmart version of a Coogie pattern. It looks like a little bit. He's got like this kind of Walmart Cosby sweater on, and yeah. So let's see. Does anybody else know any fun facts about Bob Saget? I feel like there's something. I feel like he's one of those celebrities that something like really weird and tragic happened to. Like there's somebody famous whose like kid got killed by a serial killer, and I don't know, maybe I dreamed that. I don't know. It's Unsolved Mysteries is Robert Stack. John Walsh. So yeah, that might have been him. John Walsh, who did America's Most Wanted. His son was reportedly, and I say reportedly because there's a whole controversy with like this particular set of killers and confessions, but his son Adam was reportedly beheaded by Otis Toole, who worked with Henry Lee Lucas. They were drifter killers. But something that we learned a little while later, so during the 80s, Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole were considered like the most notorious serial killers ever, because they had stacked up such a high body count. Your average, so like here, so Ted Bundy was like 36, is what I read. and or somewhere in that neighborhood, and these guys were triple that, if not more. I don't have the numbers right in front of me. Maybe you want to look up Henry Lee Lucas kill count. Anyway, Otis Toole and Henry Lee Lucas worked together, and they ended up, when they got caught, confessing to a lot of police departments, including the Texas Rangers and municipal police departments from all across the country, basically like hit up Henry Lee Lucas because like they thought he was like he was for being a serial killer. He was also a big time people pleaser, and so like cops would basically close a lot of their cold cases by asking Henry Lee Lucas, like, hey, did you do these crimes? And like he'd get details wrong, or like a lot of families ended up suing the police departments that, you know, closed these cases falsely. And, you know, they'd find things out like, oh, the day that he says that he was here, or they know that he confessed here, he also says that he was over here, like there were weird overlaps, basically. Yeah. Right. Okay. When they first started confessing, it was like in the hundreds. It was a big deal. So whether or not Adam Walsh's son was killed by Otis Toole is suspect, because they never did quite find a body for him, I don't believe. And yeah, so maybe that's the guy that I was thinking of. He went on to start America's Most Wanted, the TV show. My mom used to watch that every single time it was on, and I remember that there was an episode about a guy named Taru Sakai, and he killed his father. He killed his father like really brutally, and he was America's Most Wanted, right? So he's still on the lam. And like I remember my mom straight up telling me one night, if you don't behave yourself and get your ass to bed right now, Taru Sakai is coming over to the house tonight. I'm gonna call him. No problem, no problem. We're listening to some tunes from Daniel Foster Smith. He's one of Salted Studios' own musicians and writers. Does a lot of content on here. Really nice guy as well. Handsome dude. He's got an aquiline nose. Aquilin nose? Aquilin nose, I think. Anyway, we're listening to some of that. And from what Sam tells me, if you want to listen to more, you're just going to have to go check out some of the other videos on the Salton Studio YouTube page. That's, you know, if you're already on here, that's SALTON. No, that's not what we wanted to do. SALTON. Salton Studios. There we go. Kind of hard to keep it going two things at once here, but I think we got a pretty good Bob Saget. We're gonna give him some red eyes, because you know what he's been up to. And we're gonna give him some golden ass teeth. Ooh, I kind of like that. Let's go with it. Why the fuck not? It's digital. We can fix it later if we want to. All right. That's the fun of digital. Right. No. Let's see here. Let's just do that. Oh shit! No! No! Absolutamente no. Okay. And then, you know what? Actually, let's maybe take this same color and let's color drop it onto some of the other lines on his face, you know? Whew. It is a lot of fun to play with this stuff, actually. Very interesting, even for a layperson. If you're just tuning in and you like what you see, I'm doing micro commissions. We'll just plug it again. I'm doing micro commissions at $2 a minute. We're going to give 60% of the proceeds to Black Lives Matter chapter of Utah. I'll draw basically whatever you want for $2 a minute, up to 30 minutes. We're working on a 30-minute commission right now. It's Bob Saget, and the universe is falling in love with his sweet ass. Does anybody remember America's Funniest Home Videos? That's shit. All right, let's find out. Let's find where the lines are that we absolutely can't cross. Woo! What do we do? Okay, I think I see the problemo. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there you are. There you are. Okay. I'm gonna go back and fix these lines later. I love that deep black. Let's do the same for his big old eyebrows. He's got that nice double chin. We can kind of, let's clean up those lines. Another thing that I'm really liking about Procreate is that, like a lot of apps, it responds very well to pressure. I have to say, out of all the ones that I've tried, this one seems to be the most intuitive. I got a real heavy hand when I draw. Sam will pull up some of my Instagram a little bit later. You can see that I'm big on thick lines, in case you couldn't already tell. And this responds really well. This turns a lot to pressure on the page there. All right, we're gonna give old Bob Saget some more facial features there. Can't tell if we should. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do the no. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. Let's get real up close and personal with old Saget's mug. What? Oh my goodness. There we go. Come on. Whew. I still like the mouth the way it is. We're gonna get a little bit closer to, and we're gonna clean some of these guys out. Let's get real nice. Yeah, loving this. Loving this. Okay. All right, we all know what Bob Saget's been doing in between takes on the Full House, so no, that's not where we're going. We're going here. There we go. All right, so there's Bob Saget. How are we going to do the universe? Not exactly sure. Let's get to that after I'm done, drawing the rest of Bobby here. Let's worry about that in a second. Okay. I always thought Bob was a pretty uncommon name, and then I met 4 Bobs. I went almost my entire life. Actually, I didn't know a single Bob until I went on my mission. So I started a mission in Italy, and then I moved to Utah afterwards. I knew a lot of Roberts growing up, but a lot of Robs and a lot of Robbies, but I never met anybody that went by Bob. And then I know a Bob Glass, I know a Bob Chestnut, Bob Miller, no filler, all killer. If you're watching, Bobby, I love you. If you're not, then I understand, I guess. And and then I even met a guy It's my friend Nate Housley. He's a really great musician. He once replaced me in a band because I was playing bass too poorly, or not poorly. I was playing bass like it was lead guitar, and he once was my Bob's playing with us now tonight. See you later. You don't need to come. But he's a really cool guy, and he went Nate Housley, and he went by Bob as well for whatever reason. I never got the full story on that. So, I wonder what the most common names in the part of the country are, or I wonder what the most common name in every part of the country or every part of the world is. I'm sure that there's a website that you can go look at for that. All right, let's give him some. Yeah, let's do that same color green actually. Keep forgetting that you can use the palette. So I'm gonna give him some. And just to spice it up a little bit, throwing some purple urples there. Sam, do you remember America's Funniest Home Videos? We were talking about this. Yeah. It's really funny to me that so America's Funniest Home Videos was out, and it had been, I think, either canceled or just had kind of lost its luster. I think by that point Bob Saget had actually left, if it was still on the air. And then Jackass came out, right? And I remember there was such controversy about Jackass and don't watch Jackass, but every fucking Sunday, after The Simpsons, we'd tune it on over to ABC, I think it was ABC, and we'd watch Bob Saget MC a whole bunch of people accidentally railing themselves in the nuts, getting hit by a car, falling off a roof, you know? I mean, some of them were cute, but a lot of them were it's interesting that if somebody accidentally injures themselves, on TV, they can make money for it. But if those dudes in Jackass want to do it for real, it's their body, it's their choice. If Steve-O wants to, I was gonna say if Steve-O wants to drink the horse sperm, that was the one Jackass thing where I was all right, that maybe is a little bit, that's enough for me, I think. But if Steve-O wants to do it, I was going to say, if it's ethically sourced, I guess, then, that's fine. So that's Bob. I think I have an idea here. I'm going to look up some reference photos real quick. And once again, we're listening. What's the name of this track by Daniel Foster Smith? Does it have a name? What? Eavesdrop. We're listening to Eavesdrop by Daniel Foster Smith. All right. Okay. I think I know what I'm going to do for the universe here. So we're going to, let's see here. We're going to move in a little bit closer and we're going to draw some angels. And I have a way that I like to draw angels, which is kind of in reference to the old medieval way, or the medieval idea of what angels were. Anciently, they were just covered in eyeballs. Yeah, right? Now, in the past few hundred years, we've kind of been big on really anthropomorphizing them. But, you know what? Let's do this as a different layer altogether. Come on, undo. Undo that stroke. Oh, I did so many little strokes. I know, I heard it. Right, we're going to add another layer. So that way we can draw over these here angels. We can draw all of these here angels over these here intoxication bubbles. Make this guy pretty yoked. Why the hell not? I love, for those of you who aren't familiar with him, one of my favorite artists in the world is he's known as Tom of Finland. And he was a Finnish guy that I think came to America or came to, I don't know too much about his life, but he came to America in the 70s and kind of a big contributor to leather daddy culture in the LGBTQ world. He drew a lot of guys in biker gear, like leather hats, vests and no shirt, which is like these like big honking muscly butts, these big honking muscly muscles, and I like that a lot. John Kay, who did Ren and Stimpy, was really good at like kind of drawing musculature. Is really good. He's not dead, but I hear he is kind of an asshole. So maybe he's dead to the world. But John Kay of Ren and Stimpy fame is also really good at doing like musculature in this very Cronenbergian kind of way that like there's a body horror to like Ren and Stimpy that's a little bit different from Tom of Finland. So, and I did obviously watch a lot of Ren and Stimpy before I was, looking up gay bikers on the internet, drawings of gay bikers. So I'm sure that most of like how I like to draw muscles is influenced by that. Give him some of that. Let's give him some of this. And I think I have an idea. I'm just going to put him in this kind of impossible position here. What kind of time are we looking at? We are looking at 9 minutes and 32 seconds before we are done with the universe falling in love with Bob Saget. And you know what? I always tell people when I'm doing this live, I like to go to bars, I like to go to farmers markets and, tell people that I'll draw dirty cartoons for them at $1 a minute. And whenever I do that, I always kind of have like a personal policy of like, if there's a reasonable, like, I can make this really good or as good as I think it can be, in like 5 minutes extra. I don't mind doing an extra 5 minutes or whatever on anything. That's fine. I'm not going to, this isn't fucking Sprint Mobile. I'm not going to, exact you for every single time that you breathe near your phone or something stupid like that. Every time somebody, okay, so we got these nice lines over here. Let's put some eyeballs on this dude. Like I said, I like to kind of cover my angels with eyeballs. The head being one giant eyeball is kind of a reference to, it's not even kind of a reference. It's definitely the Residents, I just now thought it would be fun to like do this, angels are intimidating. What's more intimidating than like a weird naked dude covered with eyeballs and also he can fly? So he had to be naked. But like, angels are also like in a way kind of depicted, especially in like medieval literature, as what I understand anyway, as like generally asexual. And so like I feel like we can give him genitals, but he doesn't have like, he clearly can't do anything good with them except like, watch other people do cool stuff with their genitals, I guess, on the internet. I wonder, like, I think about like, God's security people, right? Like angels, there's a whole class of angels that are just like known as like the Watchers, right? When they get home, what did I do there? When they get home from a hard day of like watching humanity at their worst and, reporting back, do they, let's do this. Let's put him somewhere else, actually. Oh, no, we're going to keep going, I guess. Whatever. But, those angels that, spend all day watching people, watching humanity at their worst, Is anybody gonna get mad when they go home after a hard day and they like get on, you know, on the internet in heaven and just download high-speed pornography? You can't get mad at that if it's part. I feel like if it's part of your job to like watch the human race be terrible in all of the ways, you know, the really terrible ways and just the kind of less fun, gross ways. I feel like you should kind of get to, you know, watch whatever you want. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of just generally having a conversation with myself about this right now. So, feel free to ask any questions to Sam. If you want me to steer the conversation somewhere else, I'll be checking my Instagram after this. If any of the people that I know that are watching have responded to my call for commissions earlier. We're on the side of the page now because of the way that I hold my pen. I showed y'all earlier, claw hand. We're on the side of the page now, the right-hand side of the page. That's the hardest for me. But we're still going to make it work. One of the big principles... What? That's okay. I'm already doing this. We got 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, why not? Let's cover him. No, that we can do better than that. Holy shit. Come on. One of the things that I do love about micro commissions, especially like the pen and ink ones, is that, you know, it is kind of a late stage capitalism thing. You know, you get what you pay for, right? You know, hopefully, for better or for worse, you know, if you want somebody to spend only 30 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 12 minutes on a drawing, you're kind of going to get what you get. Let's give him some pubes, some cum gutters. And let's color these guys in. Maybe. You know what? Actually, I think I know what we're going to do. I have no goddamn idea what I'm doing, by the way. But let's see. We're on layer 3 now. And let's find us. Now, let's see. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. Alrighty. Know what we're gonna do here. No, that's not what we're doing. Come on. Let's just get rid of layer 3 altogether. A lot of fun. You know what? Actually, I think I like that. We got 2 minutes left. Let's just do. Some warm red layers of pure hot love. Sorry I don't know Procreate quite as well, guys. I don't even know what I was trying to do there, playing around. But also, playing around is one of the best ways to find out new things, to learn new stuff. It's raining men. It's raining little homunculuses. No, I'm not going to do it. There was a hot second, Sam, where I was going to just like write, I used to suck dick for coke along the bottom of this, but we're not going to do that. You might want to show this to your grandma. There's already a bunch of angel dicks all over this. We still need to give him some eyeballs, though. He's not a full angel yet. And it's a race against time now. He's dicking around. Come on, guys. Get it together, dog hands. Douglas Horatio Ann's. I'm disappointed in you. I want to get a fake ID so that that says Douglas Hands on it, so that when I tell people, oh, folks around here call me Dog Hands, which sometimes they do. That's my Instagram handle anyway. 8 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Whoop, over here. Boom. Bob Saget and the universe falling in love with him. 2 angels. 2 big gay angels. But I was going to say, I think it would be fun to have a fake ID that says Douglas Hands and show it to people when I'm like, oh no, folks call me Dog Hands. Like, well, no, Doug Hands. I bet I've ruined that guy's life probably. Like he can't see his kids anymore. His wife left him. Who I am and what I do. All right, so we're going back to this guy. Let's, there we go. I think we were at a 9. Yeah. All right. So let's do that. And one of the pitfalls of this is that you don't take as much of your time. So here's what we're going to do, actually. I want to redo this arm. And let's really try and get some good musculature in there. I love how this erases. And let's just kind of up that a little bit. Boom. There we go. There's a fine line, I think, between, you can make something real cartoony, or you can make something very realistic. Sometimes I think the funnest thing, let's make them real yoked, is a combination of the two. So we're going to try and, I'm going to look at some pictures in a second of some muscle-bound dudes. And we'll see if we can actually get a realistic, but still at the same time fun and cartoony depiction of Ogun. Now, I was telling y'all earlier that Ogun is like a kind of a cross between, from what I can tell anyway, Hermes and like a Hercules type. He's he's a warrior god. I guess that would, the more appropriate thing would be like Hermes and Ares. And he's a warrior god, but he also does. He's also in charge of technology, metallurgy, woodworking, crafts. I was saying earlier that one of the best ways to honor Ogun, if you are of the Voodoo or Dahomey or Yoruba religious tradition, is to support black-owned technologies. It's something that you can do in the modern day to give praise to Ogun. My favorite thing that I ever read, though, about who he is as a god, is that his mission on Earth, he came to Earth on a mission to make things better for humanity. And still feels like he is not done doing that yet. So let's give that a little bit more. Boom. Yeah. No, that's puny. There we go. A little doinkus of an elbow there. And then boom, 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 up, 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 up. And he's usually depicted carrying a machete. That looks weird, though. Let me take a look at a reference photo real quick. Let's see. Where are you? Dawghands. Google search. There we go.
Which says, I wish I was good at something. Love to see.
Well, you know, everybody is good at something. This is one of the few things that I'm actually kind of okay at. There's a lot of very talented dudes out there, and people in general. I don't want to fall into the trap of, I call everyone dude, because I don't. There's all kinds of stuff. I don't know. It's a very Mr. Rogers kind of a thing for, you know, like a stoner that's going to draw O-gun beheading a pig. But it's true, you know, like, some people are just really good at... Some of the most talented people I know are just people that are really good at hanging out and keeping my dumbass nice and calm. You know? You ever meet somebody like that, Sam? Like an emotional support stoner?
What is that person like?
I don't know. It's just like for me, it's just like I got a couple of friends out there that are like, you know, the really good thing about having them around is that they're just a calming presence. They're just like nice, chill people. Like when I'm around like my homie Zach Jones, for example, shout out to Zach Jones. But when I'm around that dude, like for example, like I almost can't get upset, you know, about shit, which if you know me is a pretty. It's a pretty righteous fucking talent, actually. Let's color that in. All right, now let's go back and... Oh, no, oh, wait, no, we didn't, there we go, boom. Oh, no, we'll just do that, okay. Still learning how this stuff works, guys. You know, so... We'll just put some more blood stains on this thing. Color them in nice and even. You know. One of my biggest problems, sometimes it works out nicely. There's a threshold just like between realism and cartoony, where, you know, like you don't want it too perfect, because then like it just looks like. Oh, I kind of like that. That worked out nicely. How do we do a... is there a choose color tool on here? Yeah, like if I wanted to grab this shade of brown, for example. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Very cool. All right. Excellent. All right. Let's actually use as an example. Boom, and now we got this kick-ass, nicely colored sword here. It's a lot of fun. And it's kind of fun to like, it's been a while since like stuff that I drew was conscientiously this simple, you know, and a little bit more childlike looking to me. And that's always the fun of a new medium, is that like you get to kind of remember what it is to like start out, you know, not really knowing how hands work or what they look like. Not really, you know, it's a whole different sensation than from the paper. You know, the paper's this is responsive, but paper is responsive in a much different way. Let me give this man some actual hair as well. We're drawing Dawghands, by the way. I first, yeah, actually, we can do that. Let's pull that up. I've been doing a lot of comics lately for an author named Kevin Snow. I've illustrated a couple of his books in the past, and this time I'm doing comic panels, like one page, as sort of like the chapter headings for his new book. So there's a lot of that. It's mostly black and white kind of stuff, and it's mostly work in progress. But if you dig down, there's some choice stuff. That one is, that's actually 2 feet by 2 feet, and it's hanging up at Compass Barber Shop in Missoula, Montana. It's called Ascension, it's part 1 and 2. If you look up in the top right-hand corner there, and I'll show you in a second. Here, pull that down, and I'll kind of hold out my arm here so that you can see it. Oh, no, over here. No. Yeah, that spot right there, and you can see, and I'll show you all later, that I have that as a tattoo. That's the whole diagram above the guy going, "I'm on the path to fucking godhood," is here. This is the same. Oh, there we go. It's hard to do in reverse. You know what? Let's just do this instead. That's so dumb. So this is actually it's the same piece, but my friend Justin Richardson, who's a tattoo artist here in Salt Lake City, you can find his work on justinr.801 is his Instagram, and he did that thing for me. But that's that last panel in that whole diagram is supposed to be Elohim in Kolob. I did the whole diagram in general is a reference to the LDS plan of salvation, which as a missionary I had to draw out this diagram like a million times, you know. And the last panel in specific is a reference to a facsimile, an Egyptian facsimile, a hieroglyphic facsimile that Joseph Smith told everyone was like a map of the cosmos. He bought, for those of you that don't know, I assume a lot of you that are watching this, because, you know me, and a lot of us are here in Utah. I'm sure some of you know this, but fun fact, Joseph Smith bought some papyrus, says he was inspired to do it, bought some papyrus off of a traveling show, like a traveling, oddities kind of a show. Supposedly inspired to do so. And supposedly it was the Lost Book of Abraham, and it came with some hieroglyphic facsimiles, and one of those. Oh, that's Richard Ramirez. That's the Night Stalker. Anyway, the goat head man in the whole thing is supposed to be like kind of a takeoff of that papyrus that Joseph Smith said was like the Book of Abraham or whatever. But yeah, so that was. That's one of my favorite recent pieces, what Sam just had up, the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. And let's see here. We're going to give this guy... That is that's a single cover, or that's the artwork for a single by Mortigi Tempo called Road. I mean, you can read it, you can see it. But Mortigi Tempo is a band out here in Salt Lake City, a psych rock band that I've done a lot of work for and with. I also shoot videos for local yokels around here And More Tiki Tempo is one of the bands that I've worked with quite a bit. They're a lot of fun to do that shit with. Let's undo a lot of that because I think I was shading from the wrong side. I don't know. We're just waiting for anyone else to suggest something right now. Back to Ogun. I really like the thing about his mission to on Earth is to make things better for humanity. And in some traditions, it's specifically to make the Earth like physically cooler. In fact, that is one thing. You know what? I'm going to keep that. I like that. A little happy accident there. That is one thing that I read in a book by Wade Davis. Sam, do you want to look up The Serpent and the Rainbow and tell me who wrote that? I think it's Wade Davis. He's an anthropologist and ethnobotanist. And a thing that I read in this book was that the etymology of the word cool, what we use, as just kind of general approval, comes from that phrase, like to cool the earth, the idea of cooling the earth, meaning that if something is cool, it literally makes the ground easier to walk on and makes your earth cooler, makes life easier for you. And so, like, I like that because, like, that, anything can be cool in that case, Yeah, The Serpent and the Rainbow, yeah, by Wade Davis. Really great book on Haitian voodoo traditions and specifically, like, the quote-unquote zombie poison. Anyway, so they talk about how the origin of the word cool comes from the phrase to cool one's earth, to make things better for the people around you. So, let's see here. We're going to actually give him kind of took up a lot of room at the top. Still learning my dimensions on here. You know what? Let's add some stuff to this now. Sam, what's this song called?
This one's called Forest Foxes.
Forest Foxes. Let's see. Let's get a little bit closer. I imagine that when you get really, really comfortable with this, you can do a lot of, like, very, very fine detail on stuff, and we're going to try and do a little bit of that. Drawing live is an interesting experience, right? Because, like, most of the time when you're drawing, you're by yourself or, you're hanging out with, a friend or whatever, somebody that, you're comfortable being around while you kind of expose yourself to the world a little bit. And so therefore, maybe they're a little bit more understanding of, your process or your imperfections and things like that. And in this case, you get to see the whole thing, and it's like it is a little bit of a window into somebody's head, watching them create on the spot. So watching, did you ever see Ex Machina? I watched that last night, actually, and it was interesting what they said about, mapping AI, and it wasn't, the true map show, like they use his search engine as a way to map the AI's brain, right, or as the way to simulate a human brain, and he was saying that the secret was that it was a map not to so much what people were thinking, but how they thought. And that's an interesting idea in terms of watching somebody create, because there are these, I'm sure if we had like a psychologist like was really trained in this, or a psychiatrist that was really trained in this, watch how I do my strokes and kind of what part I start with and everything like that, I'm sure they would have a field day with whatever the fuck is wrong with me, or they'd have a greater insight into figuring out whatever the fuck is wrong with me, or what's right with me, who knows. So we're gonna color this guy in now. Let's give him some blue, of course, and let's make him kind of a pale pink. Oh, come on, Dawghands, you idiot. There we go. Here. And if anybody wants me to draw anything else besides what I'm doing right now, we are taking commission requests. They're running at $2 a minute. We're going to give 60% of the proceeds to Black Lives Matter. And so I will draw whatever it is that y'all's nasty little hearts desire. I mean, not whatever. I'm not going to draw something. I won't draw. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So, I'm going to ask you, Sam, in a second, how to replicate. You were saying that you could just kind of copy something on the screen, right? Is that what I heard? And kind of paste it around. All right, so let's see here. And then no, we're not going to do that pentagram, because pentagrams are fun and cool. Satan rules. We're going to do an Illuminati pyramid. Kind of modern Satanist view is way more that, people should live and let live, treat each other with respect and everything like that. And I think that's beautiful. So, where's the disc? There we go. So I'm not gonna. That kind of looks cool, but all right. So Sam, how do I copy paste this? How do I copy paste this head?
Okay, you see the little S up at the top left?
Mm-hmm.
That, and then you can choose your selection mode, and then you can just draw around what you want to copy. So we're going to select this on that layer. Once you have selected, you can...
Oh no, hold on. I accidentally made him throwing up, which was kind of cool, but. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. And then what? Just how do I leave it there where it lies? Oh, the pointer. Yeah, this one. Okay, cool. Right. Okay. Here. Oh, duh.
Oh, you copied,
Oh, did I copy something else? Shit.
yeah, you copied a blank spot, I think. You can drag that layer that's blank to the left, and I think you
There we go.
if you have the layer selected, like, just hit the arrow without the selection, and you'll be able to select.
Oh wait, hold on. I know what you're saying. Cool. No, that's the one guy. We just need one more. Let's do that. Huh. What am I doing here? Okay. Come on. Come on, Bizoy. Yeah. But see, that just moves it. You know what?
But now that you're on layer 1,
Oh, I can probably. No. Yeah, let's just do that. All right. If we don't have any more micro comisiones, then I'm gonna say we're done. Let's put the old. Oh, nice.
I want a fresh new take on one of the artist's early works, which I happen to own and display in my bedroom. I want a fresh new take on one of the artist's early works.
Does he have oh fuck yes?
I don't know. Tell us, David Moore. What do you got? I don't know if you want to talk to David?
David, I think I know which one you're talking about. Oh! I bet I know. I bet I know what it is. Okay. All right. I bet I know what it is. Does he want the skull coming out? Does he want the woman crowning a skull? It's either a woman crowning a skull or it's a picture of my brother riding an elephant, and it just says in big letters, "Oh fuck yes," behind him. Is it the elephant or is it the skull? Or is it neither? I can't wait to see what this shit is. By the way, I don't know if the camera's still going on me. I can see the sign out screen. The camera's still going. Okay, so this today's show is I guess powered by, sponsored. It wasn't sponsored by. I had to pay for this, but powered by Sweet Dollar Tea from McDonald's.
We actually do have a sponsor, this hand sanitizer.
Oh, we got a sponsor. We got this hand sanitizer. All right, cool. This is an 80% hand sanitizer from Mystic Mountain Distillery. Okay, time to chill. Smells pretty nice. Smells like booze. Smells like my hands are about to, like corner me at one end of the bar and tell me a rambling story about how they love their kids, but they ain't been around for a while. Oh, shit. I forgot about that one. Okay. Oh, man. Fun story time. So this is from an art show. This is like the closest to a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode that I'll ever get, hopefully. But I had one art show, only one in my entire life, no, we don't want any of these. No, just normal. There we go. Okay. But I had one art show. It was at a Juice and Java, and they were like, hey, come and display your paintings. We'll put them on for a few weeks or whatever, and like you can sell them here or whatever. And like I didn't have anything, and so I just like put together all of the I found some paintings that were like this, that were just like pictures at the DI that I like did other stuff with. But I also straight up painted I painted a picture of like a woman crowning a skull. I painted a picture, it was like a triptych of it was a big sloppy cheeseburger, Jesus on the cross, and a big throbbing penis. It was called Which One Fills Your Void? And there was one where I just literally printed out a picture of my brother Daniel riding an elephant at the county fair, and it just said oh fuck yes in big letters, big orange letters. Anyway, so I go to display the work, and I don't know. Looking back, I know that they're a business. They're trying to sell coffee to people and whatnot. But looking back, I I definitely think that they should have kicked my shit out or taken half of my stuff down. But at the time I was mad, and I was like, this is the coffee shop where all the punks and weirdos go, and they can't handle my stuff. And I'd put it up, and like, you know, people were just like, oh, that's your stuff, huh? I'm like, yep, really proud of my stuff here, really proud of I spent a lot of time on these paintings. They were shit. They were shit, and they were disgusting. And so my friend Ryan, who's actually David's brother, okay, he stopped by, he was going to stop by Juice and Java and pick up some coffee and look at my art because he knew that it was up, and he wanted to be a good comrade, a good friend, and patronize. And at the time, he was completely bald. He was rocking a shaved head, and he had this Volkswagen that ran on diesel. And, you know, he ran out of gas a lot, and so he always had like a can in the car. And he had run out of gas on the way, and stopped to pick, like basically like went to go fill up his gas can, and on the way just stopped by the Juice and Java. Well, I guess I'll stop and look at the artwork now before I go fill up my car since I'm passing by. And so here comes this like skin-headed gentleman with a can of gas, and he puts it up on the counter at the Juice and Java so that he can pick up his phone, so he can pick up his phone and be like, hey, JR, so they took down like a bunch of your paintings. Yeah, what do you want me to do? Which he meant like, do you want me to grab the paintings that they took down and bring them back to you? But I'm sure that, like, you know, his intense face, which was quite intense in general, especially with like the shaved head. I'm sure that people were like, oh my God. This is the great, yeah, I can see it now. Hi, David. All right. Can I get a little bit more of a zoom on my man here? On my reference photo, yeah. Let's see here. Hi, Tiffany. How's it going? Good to see y'all. Thanks for tuning in. By the way, Salted Studios is a community-run studio. So, you know, if you want to donate time or money or anything to Salted Studios, please do, because they're putting together a pretty great service by you know, having me on here to draw. No, but they're wonderful people. I love Sam. I love Daniel Foster. I know Tanner from the internet, but not in real life. And I love him too on the internet. And yeah, do what you can to support. Right now, Sam, tell us about what you're trying to do. You're trying to get, you know, 1,000 subscribers so that you can take donations directly through YouTube. Is that right? Is that what I'm...
We actually have an immediate goal of getting 100 subscribers.
100?
If you're watching on our YouTube channel, Salted Studios, please subscribe.
Yeah, and if you're watching on Facebook Live as well, go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button for Salted Studios. Hi. Hi, David. Waved at the screen like a smart person. Love it. Okay, so let's get subscribe like a smart person. Oh, hell yeah. Very cool. Thank you so much, my man. David and I go way back, actually. And it's good to... I hate that. I hate that. Let's just get rid of that. It's a 30-minute micro commission. We're okay.
What's the title of this commission, David?
Yeah, I don't even remember. You got yourself a real Dawghands original before I even started going by that. Greg Garilat, my friend Greg Garilat gave me that name. We were smoking weed, and I was rambling on about something, and I was talking very excitedly with my hands. And Greg meant to say, "What are you doing with your hands, dog?" And he said, "What are you doing with your dog hands?" And that was the, yeah, Greg Garilat was the guy that that first called me dog hands. And I remember too, like, we had a laugh about it. He was like, "What are you doing with your dog hands?" And then he like had this stern look on his face and just looked at me like, "Dog hands?" I'm like, oh shit, no, that's the name. That's the name. That's the art name. I was still doing a lot of music stuff, but, you know, starting to draw. Let's see. Okay, and then let's get this asshole. I'm sure he's not an asshole. He seems like a nice guy. He's got very intense eyebrows, though. And, like, did I draw those on? I probably drew those on. Who the hell knows? I don't know. We'll get it all the way through. You know, like, I'm positive I'm going to spend 30 minutes. Okay. Okay, and let's see. Anybody watching anything good lately? Anybody binging anything? Anybody? What are y'all people watching on the internet in quarantine? Let me know. Let me know what's good. What are y'all listening to? We're listening to some of Daniel Foster Smith's stuff. You can find his work featured heavily on the Salton Studios page, so be sure to do like some of my favorite people have done today and subscribe. And you can check out all of the, I mean, you could do that anyway, I guess, but it'd be better if you subscribed. And you can check out more videos with some of Sam's work on it. Let's see, let's get his hair in there. Let's get his chin. Let's get her goatee. Tiffany's been binging the riots. Yeah, that's about all anybody's been talking about or watching for the past few days. By the way, we want everyone to know that portions of proceeds to today's exercise, to today's work, anything that you might have micro-commissioned is going to help the Black Lives Matter chapter here in Utah. Okay, so yeah, why don't we do that? That's what I was trying to do in the first goddamn place. All right, there we go. Yeah. I like doing a lot of stuff with primary colors in my my ink on paper kind of work, but a lot of that has to do with me being self-taught, and so right now I'm doing that kind of stuff because I don't really know color theory all that well, or at least I couldn't tell you anything about it specifically. But I'm very much an autodidactic kind of person, and a lot of times I try to do things in a way that, like, hopefully I will just kind of learn by accident if I fuck around for a little bit and if I set some rules. That's people don't. Sometimes I think people depict, the creation of art or the art life or whatever you want to call it as like this sort of like rule-less thing. But honestly, the more little challenges and rules that you set up for yourself, in my opinion, like the more fun that you have, because that's really where your brain gets the workout, is going like, okay, like for example, I'm gonna only work with these sets of colors, okay? So I'm only gonna work with 3 colors. I'm only gonna work with like 5 colors. So how do I need to like map everything out? What are and like that's where I think you get some real fun, real creative things is when you have to think creatively around a set of obstacles or a set of rules, you know, that plays a lot into like how a person's style develops. You know, I'm sure that a lot of the way that I draw has to do with, as I was pointing out earlier, with the way that I hold things. With my stupid Neanderthal hands. All right, let's give these fine people some marks of the beast. I want a little bit smaller of a brush so that I can really get the finer points. And actually, you know what? Let's do an experiment here, because I really do like this this aspect in Procreate. So let's see. We got something. What do we got, Sam? I heard some kind of a noise. Okay, we're gonna kind of fill in some gaps here so that the hair coloring process is made a little bit easier. Let's go back up to this. We'll make sure that we got
David Moore says, absent an actual name, I'm completely happy with. Let's give these fine people some marks of the beast.
That's perfect. All right, that's the new title. Fuck yeah. Well, David, I guess whatever value is assigned to that piece later is partially yours, since you're the one that came up with the name. Let's give these fine people some marks of the beast. That's good. I like that. Okay. Gonna find a nice brown. I love. Nope. No, we're not. Not yet, anyway. I love, in general, like this palette from, you know, the. I mean, this seems to me like it's a 70s or maybe it's an early 80s, you know, photo. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks like a 70s era, just based on the hair. But I love these like browns and greens, you know, these kind of like faded yellows a little bit. Like it's such a great color palette. Let's see if we can find like a really nice skin tone for it. Let's make that a little bit lighter. Nope. Where were we? There you go. Let's see here. And then we want to go in and actually make sure that this pentagram is colored in so that it looks like it's actually fresh on the skin. We'll throw some blood on them too in a second. And then we still have the babies to do. We still got all those little angels. All those little sweet babies we got. Ho-ho! I love that thing. You don't know what you're going to get. Shit, that's hilarious. Thank you, sir. Nope, nope, nope. Ah, it's so cool that you can get like that close in. I love that. Okay. And let's do one of these. Nope. Let's actually do. Let's find a nice kind of that faded pale green. for their clothes here. Very cool. All right, and we're missing a little spot right here. Bitch, there you go. Okay, and let's do some babies. Babies full of rabies. That's I always think of. Is that a dog and an eagle tearing that child apart? That is. Okay, we'll throw that somewhere. We'll do a whole bunch of blood after this. And you know, if you're worried about, if you're sad that we're doing a baby here, which I don't even know what the fuck I was thinking when I was putting this together. You know, I don't know. I'm not a pro-life person, but I'm also not somebody that's like, oh, you know, like who the fuck knows? I was definitely being an edgelord when I put this together. So if you're uncomfortable with the idea of it being babies, just think of it as, you know, one of those people that is really into, like, you know, diaper fetish stuff. Wearing a diaper. You know, I don't want to kink shame anybody, but that's a fucking bummer, dude. That's a fucking bummer. All right, we're gonna give. Nope, we gotta fill this guy in a little bit more here. Make sure that these lines are. Let's actually move in closer and refine this a little bit. Whoa, what's going on here? Nothing. Nothing, honey. We're live with Sam right now, who's a technical wizard. That probably sounds like I'm being sarcastic because we're currently having a small technical difficulty, but I'm not. In fact, I'm comfortable. I'm very comfortable knowing that Sam is in charge of fixing whatever technical difficulties that we might have. Let's give this little diaper fetish man a little pot belly. And let's find a nice pink baby skin. Oh, yeah, that's true. You're right about that. Come on, you. And there's babies full of rabies. Don't want to fucking be colored in the correct way, the way that I want it. It's my fucking nervous breakdown live on the internet, and I get to choose the colors. Let's give him a nasty little green diaper there. Ah, that's gross. We'll put some. We still got some other of these guys to do. So we're gonna do. Actually, no. Let's. Ooh, I'm gonna try something out here. Kind of love this, so that I don't have to turn the thing upside down. Cool, please. Let's hear all your comments and all your questions and all your shit.
David Moore says, when people talk about the advantages
That's true. That's true. Sorry, David. But I have to know about diaper kinks, and now everyone else does too. I accidentally watched a Showtime Real Sex about it. I was just trying to find something saucy. Was not amused. If I gotta know, everyone's gotta know. That seems like a workaround to me. Like, not if you're the person that likes to be in the diaper, but if you're the person that's like, yeah, put one on and like use a pacifier and whatnot, that seems like you found like a way to like do some Law and Order SVU shit without having Detective Stabler beat the shit out of you. And you know what? Like, if somebody can enlighten me as to like maybe it's not that, I will gladly hear it. But that's my first impression. You can do whatever you want to do as long as you're not hurting other people. But I am definitely going to tell you if I think that what you're doing is kind of a bummer. Okay. Some stink lines and some fall lines. Some flies. Cool. So now that we've done that, let's What are we looking at on time there, Sam?
9 minutes, 48 seconds.
Okay, we got plenty of time then. Okay, good. So we are listening to Jenica Lake right now. That's her voice in the background there. Good stuff. And if you're watching and you haven't done it yet, why don't you click on over on the Sultan Studios website on YouTube, the Sultan Studios YouTube page. Why don't you go over there and hit that old subscribe button. That way the next time I'm doing this, or the next time they're doing any of the quality content on Sultan, you just know. You get the notification. Speaking of which, let's check and see if we got any Massagios. Oh, we just got two story mentions from Sultan Studios, so we're good. All right, let's see. We have this baby, kind of this pinkish fuchsia thing. Ah, I see you. You little pisha. I see you there. I see. I'll see what I did wrong there. Ugh. I hope everyone's being safe out there. We got all kinds of shit going on right now. We got, we got a pandemic. We got some civil unrest. Not happy about the pandemic. A little bit more happy about the civil unrest. I think that we're overdue for some of that. And whatever's going on, I hope everyone is staying safe. Hope everybody is oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Okay. And if you're watching and you're doing something particularly interesting with your quarantine time, with your time at home, or if you're just, reading something good, watching something good, tell me about it. One of the reasons that I like to draw around other people, even on the internet, just not really around other people, but kind of is, depending on who's there and who's watching. But one of the reasons that I like that a lot is because you get some really good conversation. And I always find that because half of my brain is kind of trying to focus on something else, that I don't fall into the trap as much, especially if I'm drawing at somebody's house particularly. I don't fall into the trap too much of, dominating things too much because somebody else is there to kind of keep it going. Focus on listening instead of talking as much. Here it's a little bit different in this situation. I'm trying to keep it going, and I can't always look at what people on the screen are writing, and people aren't always writing stuff on the screen. But that's okay. What is going on? Where are you, little... Where is this? All right, let's figure this the fuck on out. Huh. All right, it's somewhere, whatever. We got a couple of them. That's fine. Let's find a decent yellow. Let's actually take this yellow.
David Morris says he just finished watching The Great, Fantastic, Absurd.
Oh, I've been loving that. That's a good one. I'll have to finish it up and let you know what I'm thinking here. What's our time here? We got what, 3 minutes? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yep, 3:54.
3:54, okay. Let's find a, let's see how that looks as a background. No. Want more of like a baby shit color, I think, for the background. There we go. That's good. We got some babies. You know what? Let's do one more baby. Let's do one more. Let's do one more diaper fetish man. That's what we're going to say. I don't know. There's some things that, like, I feel like the internet peer pressures you to dislike. Like I saw a thing the other day. I was like, you don't hate pineapple on pizza. You just, you know, let the internet fucking tell you what to think on stuff. But, you know, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I feel like there's some stuff that's like, it's fashionable to dislike. And I would never have a kid of my own, mostly because I would never inflict myself as a fucking parent onto an innocent child that didn't do anything wrong. But I don't hate kids. Kids are kind of hilarious, actually. You know, I'm told that they say the darndest things. I see you. I don't know. What's some other examples of? Remember what?
Hold the pink down in there again, but then hold it, and then go left, drag to the left.
There we go. Cool. Oh yeah. Certainly does. Alrighty. And then, as promised, we're gonna do some blood. So let's get some more of this. And big old drops of blood, blood, blood. Just get. All right. So we're going to be signing off here in the next few minutes. We did 2 commissions, and I finished a little depiction of Ogun chopping off pigs, chopping up pigs' heads. Pig. And we're going to be signing off in just a little bit, I think. Let you guys get on with your day. I got some ink and paper commissions that I'm going to have to finish up later. I got some weeds that need smoking. We will email you your commissions. So, you know, if you have not given your information to Sam, please give Sam an email. And even if you didn't order a commission today, I would still consider donating to your local Black Lives Matter chapter today. I would encourage y'all to do that. You know, there's a lot of times that the people are on the internet going, you know, what can I do? What can I do other than, you know, make a million posts and things like that? But, you know, you can crowdfund, you can crowdsource. You know, even if you're far away or even if you're scared, you can always throw money at a problem, right? That's a little bit of that. There's a little bit something about that capitalismo, I guess. Maybe that's not capitalism. Maybe that's just money-ismo. But at any rate, you know, I'd encourage you to use your time and your resources and your energy in some way, shape, or form. And that's time on this guy. On let's give these fine people some marks of the beast 2.0. Yeah. What? They've gone wild. Oh, I hear that, yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Boy, that was some hard work, and after a long day of drawing dead babies and drawing dead cops, I like to refresh myself with some Sweet Dollar tea from McDonald's. Thanks again for tuning in. This is Salton Studios, and it is a community-owned and operated multimedia studio in South Salt Lake City. Please visit saltonstudios.com if you want to learn more, or if you want to participate, if you want to help us make some content. Also, we'd really like it if you go to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook Live or on Twitch, go to the YouTube. You look up Salton Studios on the YouTube. We're trying to get 100 subscribers. And Today, we're going to have another show on permaculture later tonight on Monday. That's one of our other Sultan Studio shows. All day Sunday, we got some really good stuff. They're working on some stop motion animation. There's also a crossword podcast. There's Tab Gab, the only game show that's also a morning coffee type talk show. Sultan Art Live, and our newest show, Dear Sister Jensen. So if you don't have enough Mormon mom in your own personal life, tune in on Sunday for Dear Sister Jensen and all the other great stuff on Sultan Studios. And thanks a lot for coming by. I'm your old pal Dawghands. You can follow me at Dawghands, DAWGHANDS, on Instagram and on Twitter. And thanks for watching, guys. You have a good one. Smoke weed every day. Hail Satan.